When did I start to suspect my house was haunted? It started with the shoes. Every morning, my 3-year-old son, Toby, would line up his shoes by the back door, perfectly straight. Toby can barely put his own pants on, let alone organize a mudroom. I asked my husband, Mark, if he was doing it. He just laughed and said I was finally rubbing off on the kid. But then, it wasn't just the shoes. I'd find the dishwasher ran while we were out, or the weeds in the garden pulled before I could get to them. One afternoon, I heard Toby giggling in the pantry. I peeked in and saw him holding out a drawing. "For the nice man," he whispered. I looked around the empty, cramped space. There was nobody there. "What nice man, Toby?" I asked, my skin crawling. "The man who lives in the floor," he said, pointing to the crawlspace hatch under the rug. "He says thank you for the sandwiches, Mommy." My blood turned to ice. I hadn't made any sandwiches that morning. I checked the fridge. The ham and cheese were half gone. That night, I told Mark we needed to call the police. I was convinced a squatter was living under our feet. Mark told me I was overworking and seeing ghosts. He insisted on checking the crawlspace himself. He went down with a flashlight for 10 minutes and came back up, dusty and annoyed. "Nothing but spiders, Sarah. Stop scaring the kid." I felt relieved until the next day. I was folding laundry when Toby walked in wearing a gold watch I'd never seen before. It was expensive, the kind of watch a CEO or a pilot would wear. "Where did you get that, baby?" I asked, my heart hammering. "The floor man," Toby said. "He said he's moving out soon. He said to give this to you, because Daddy doesn't have enough money to pay him anymore." I looked at the back of the watch. It was engraved to Mark, "Happy 5th anniversary. Love, Elena." My name isn't Elena. I went to the crawlspace after Mark left for work. I didn't find a squatter. I found a professional-grade surveillance hub, a sleeping bag, and a stack of photos. They weren't photos of me. They were photos of Mark with another woman, and a legal contract for a private security and discretion service. The floor man wasn't a ghost or a killer. He was a professional my husband hired to live in our house and make sure I never found out about his second family. I didn't call the police. I called Alina. It turns out she thought the watch was lost in the mail. We're meeting for coffee tomorrow. I think the floor man is going to have 2 new clients.